His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the President of the current session of the Arab Summit, and the President of Egypt, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, preside over the extraordinary session of the Arab League Council at the Level Summit, Palestine Summit, in the administrative capital, Cairo, in the presence of Their Majesties, Excellencies, Emirs, and Heads of States. His Majesty the King delivered the following speech.
السلام عليكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فخامة الأخ الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس جمهورية مصر العربية الشقيقة، أصحاب الجلالة والفخامة والسمو، معالي أمين عام جامعة الدول العربية، معالي أمين عام الأمم المتحدة، الحضور الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يطيب لي في مستهل كلمتي أن أهنئكم بشهر رمضان الفضيل أعاده الله على أمتينا العربية والإسلامية باليمن والبركات، وندعو المولى عز وجل في هذه الأيام الكريمة أن يعيننا جميعاً على إعلاء كلمة الأمة وتوحيد صفوفها وحماية قيمها الداعية للوسطية والتسامح والاعتدال من أجل مجتمعات تسودها المحبة والسلام. وبهذه المناسبة يسعدني أن أعرب عن خالص الشكر والتقدير لفخامة الأخ العزيز الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس جمهورية مصر العربية الشقيقة على جهوده الاستثنائية لاستضافة وعقد هذه القمة الطارئة وحفاوة الاستقبال. كما يسرني باسم الجميع الترحيب بفخامة السيد أحمد الشرع رئيس الجمهورية العربية السورية، وفخامة العماد جوزيف عون رئيس الجمهورية اللبنانية، متمنيين لجهودهما كل توفيق لرفعة ورخاء بلديهما الشقيقين، وتأكيداً على ما جاء في قمة البحرين، فإننا على ثقة ويقين بأن التمسك بمسار السلام الدائم والشامل هو الإطار الضامن لينال الشعب الفلسطيني حقوقه التاريخية المشروعة في تغيير المصير وإقامة دولته الوطنية المستقلة استناداً لحل الدولتين، كما أكدت عليه المبادرة العربية للسلام وجميع القرارات الدولية التاريخية والخطط العربية اللاحقة، إلى جانب ما سيصدر عن هذا الاجتماع من قرارات تصب في مصلحة الشعب الفلسطيني. ونؤكد رفضنا لأي محاولات للتهجير والاستيطان. ونشيد في هذا السياق بمبادرة مصر الشقيقة المطروحة أمام القمة بشأن قطاع غزة، وندعو إلى دعم هذه الخطة التي تسهم في تقوية روابطنا الأخوية وحماية أمننا القومي وتعزيز قدرتنا الجماعية على مواجهة التحديات التي تتعرض لها مصالحنا المشتركة، وبما يحفظ مكتسباتنا التنموية وسبل تقدمنا وازدهارنا. وفي الختام نكرر شكرنا لفخامة الأخ العزيز الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس جمهورية مصر العربية الشقيقة بتوليه مسؤولية رئاسة هذه القمة، سائلين المولى عز وجل أن يوفقه ويعينه على أداء هذه المهمة، مع تمنياتنا بأن تشهد نتائج القمة كل التوفيق والنجاح. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. شكرا.
His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa yesterday arrived in Cairo, Egypt on an official visit to participate in the extraordinary Arab Summit. Upon arrival at Cairo International Airport, His Majesty was welcomed by the Deputy Prime Minister for Human Development and Minister of Health of Egypt, Dr. Khalid Abdel Ghaffar, and Bahrain's ambassador to Egypt and permanent representative to the Arab League, Fawzia bint Abdullah Zainal. Upon arrival to Egypt, His Majesty issued a statement in which he expressed appreciation and gratitude to the President of Egypt, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, for hosting the Extraordinary Arab Summit, which is taking place under extremely delicate and sensitive circumstances that requires the leaders of Arab countries to continue joint consultation and coordination on all challenges that threatens Arab national security and the interest of Arab countries and people. His Majesty added that the convening of the Arab Summit in Egypt reflects its pivotal role and sincere efforts at all levels to strengthen Arab solidarity and unity, and affirms the firm Arab position to protect Arab national security, support just Arab causes, especially the Palestinian causes, defend the rights of the Palestinian people to freedom, justice and dignity, establish their independent, fully sovereign state, and advance efforts to achieve a just and comprehensive peace for all the people of the region. His Majesty the King prayed to Allah the Mighty to bless the efforts of the Arab countries for the good of their people and to fulfill their aspiration for peace, security, stability, and development. His Majesty the King, the President of the current session of the Arab Summit yesterday, departed from the Kingdom for Egypt to head the Kingdoms of Bahrain's delegation to the Extraordinary Arab Summit to discuss developments in the Palestinian cause, which will be held in the Egyptian capital, Cairo. Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty the King, adopts constant and firm positions in support of the Palestinian cause and the legitimate rights of the brotherly Palestinian people, which emphasize in all international and regional forums through its foreign policy, calling for the establishment of a Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital in accordance with the two-state solution and in compliance with international legitimacy resolution and the Arab Peace Initiative. More in this report.
In every international or Arab forum, the Palestinian cause is always present on the Kingdom of Bahrain's agenda. The Kingdom considers the Palestinian cause to be its first and central cause and views it as a priority in its foreign policies and a pivotal and fundamental issue for the security of the region, whose solution represents the key to peace and stability in the world. The Kingdom of Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty the King, is firm and clear in its positions that emphasize the need to establish an independent Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital, within the framework of a just and lasting settlement based on resolutions of international legitimacy, international law, and the Arab Peace Initiative, and its support for the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people, especially their right to establish their independent state in accordance with the two-state solution, the principles of international law, and the Arab Peace Initiative. This is based on the Kingdom's belief that a comprehensive and just peace can only be achieved by meeting the legitimate aspirations of the Palestinian people and establishing their independent state in accordance with the principles of the two-state solution. His Majesty the King devoted his efforts to bring the Palestinian cause to international forums and ensure a just solution to it, the most recent of which was the initiative presented by the Kingdom of Bahrain during the 33rd Ordinary Session of the Arab Summit under the presidency of His Majesty, namely issuing a call for an international conference under the auspices of the United Nations to resolve the Palestinian cause based on this two-state solution. The Kingdom is also working to utilize all its resources and capabilities to support the Palestinian people to achieve their legitimate rights, establish their state, build their institutions, as well as provide economic, humanitarian, and social support. The Kingdom of Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty the King, has always declared its firm stance towards the Palestinian cause, which was clearly manifested through foreign participation in Gulf, Arab, Islamic, regional, and international conferences, as well as Bahraini diplomatic and parliamentary movements that were integrated into one framework to support the Palestinian cause, achieve security and stability, and support the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people and their independent state.
His Royal Highness the Deputy King Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa yesterday visited the Majlises of Al Asfour family, the Zayani family, and Abdullah bin Hamad Al Nuaimi Majlis. During the visit, His Royal Highness affirmed the Kingdom's commitment to achieving its comprehensive and national development goals under the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness highlighted the importance of Team Bahrain's united efforts across various sectors in sustaining the Kingdom's progress and prosperity, ensuring a better future for all. His Royal Highness exchanged Ramadan greetings with the heads of the Majlises and attendees and noted that the holy month strengthens social bonds, fosters meaningful gathering, and reflects Bahrain's deep-rooted tradition. His Royal Highness expressed pride in Bahraini citizens' strong nationalism, sense of belonging, and loyalty, which were evident during the visits. His Royal Highness also underscored Bahraini's passion and ambition to contribute to the Kingdom's ongoing development. His Royal Highness emphasized that the Kingdom continues its development and prosperity with the support of a tight-knit community and social cohesion. In this regard, His Royal Highness highlighted the roles of the Majlises in consolidating national values and enhancing social coexistence to meet the Kingdom's far-reaching aspirations. His Royal Highness highlighted the Kingdom's commitment to further collaboration between the executive and legislative authorities as well as the private sector to achieve accomplishments aligned with the Kingdom's comprehensive development as led by His Majesty the King. The heads of the Majlises expressed their gratitude for His Royal Highness' visit and acknowledged his commitment to engaging with all Bahraini citizens and commended the numerous achievements made during the prosperous era of His Majesty the King. With the support of His Royal Highness was accompanied by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa and several senior officials. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa issued Edict 16 of 2025 appointing directors at the National Health Regulatory Authority, NHRA, based on a proposal by the Chairman of the Supreme Council of Health. The following shall be appointed at the NHRA. Number 1, Sophia Adil Sha'ban Deri, Director of Regulatory Affairs. Second of all, Abdullah Muhammad Tahir Al-Rayis, Director, Healthcare Facilities Oversight. The Representative Council held its weekly session presided over by its Speaker, Ahmed Al-Msallam. The session discussed a number of draft laws, most notably the law of the Legislative and Legal Affairs Committee regarding a draft law on reorganizing the Legislative and Legal Opinion Authority, and the Council decided to take the final opinion on the draft law urgently in the same session and approved it. The Council also discussed the report of the Finance and Economic Affairs Committee regarding the proposal for the Ministry of Industry and Commerce to improve transparency by amending the Sigillat system to allow the public to download commercial records search reports, and the Council decided to approve the proposal. The Council also approved 10 proposals submitted by the committees and referred them to the government. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdulatif bin Rashid Al-Zayani, yesterday participated in the ministerial preparatory meeting for the Emergency Arab Summit hosted by Egypt in the presence of Arab leaders. The meeting was chaired by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Migration and Egyptian Abroad, Dr. Badr Abdel Ati, with the participation of Arab foreign ministers and permanent delegates to the Arab League, in the presence of the Secretary General of the Arab League, Ahmed Abul Ghait. The meeting discussed topics on the agenda of the Arab Summit and the final statement to be issued at the conclusion of the summit. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdulatif bin Rashid Al-Zayani, met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Migration and Egyptians Abroad, Dr. Badr Abdel Ati. The meeting reviewed preparation for the Emergency Arab Summit set to take place in Cairo today, focusing on the agenda items related to the situation in the Gaza Strip. The ministers also exchanged views on regional and development and efforts to maintain security and stability. The Survey and Land Registration Bureau introduced an electronic property ownership statement for real estate registration application, enhancing the efficiency of ownership processes and related transactions, ultimately aiming to improve government services for citizens, residents, and investors. The Undersecretary for Courts, Family Reconciliation and Alimony at the Ministry of Justice, Islamic Affairs and Waqf, Dana Zayani, announced the launch of remote visual notarization services. This service, provided by the private notaries within Bahrain, has been introduced in coordination with the Information and E-Government Authority. Zayani advised those interested in the service to register for the government notification system Notify Me via Bahrain.bh and update their contact detail, as registered contact information will be required for the service access. She emphasized the ministry's commitment to digital transformation, offering more flexible options for businesses and individuals while streamlining notarization and authentication process. The new service eliminates the need for in-person attendance and paper-based transaction, using blockchain technology to secure digitally stored notarized documents, ensuring their authenticity and preventing modification. As part of his continuous effort to ensure consumer safety and the quality of the products offered, the Minister of Industry and Commerce is intensifying its monitoring and inspection operation on shops and supermarkets in various regions of Bahrain. These efforts come in with the context of ensuring that prices are stabilized to ensure a safe shopping environment. Various promotional offers offered by local markets in Bahrain related to the holy month of Ramadan. From this perspective, the Consumer Protection Department was keen to ensure a fair trade environment by licensing all promotional campaigns offered by commercial markets in Bahrain, monitoring prices and applying the large regulations set by the ministry. Is an ongoing effort by a number of specialized inspectors to ensure the stability of prices, at the same time ensure the validity of prices in various promotional campaigns licensed by the Ministry Consumer Protection Department. This monitoring is not just a routine step carried out by the inspector, but a renewed and innovative experience that ensures the application of price stability standards and safety of promotional campaigns in these shops.